thank you so muchly for your patience. And with that said, hey, what do you know? I actually unmuted my microphone this time. With that said, it is a wackoon. It's a wackoon Wednesday? And we're live and we're streaming. We got a bunch of demos to look at, so without further ado, here's Rocky! Here's Rocky, and it is Wackoon Wednesday. We'll go with that. And we are back with the rack, and we are going to talk more voice demo-y stuff. And again, as I did write on the Twitter earlier, my sincere apologies to those who did submit demos after the initial time of the start of the stream. There's a lot to go through, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get to those anytime soon. But fear not, please do stay tuned. I will open this up again in the futures, and I will be more prepared time-wise and energy-wise to be able to approach the storm that may come. Hey, Smile Jackal says, hey, again, thank you for coming on by. Wanted to thank you again for the review yesterday. Didn't realize you were the voice director for Dust. I'm not, though. That's the thing. I would have done a way better job. And to be fair, everything that what's his name, McStinkelman, everything that he knows about voicey acting, he kind of learned and stole from me. So in a way, I guess maybe I was, but technically I wasn't. I'm just Rocky J. Raccoon, professional tone. But to read the rest of your point, Dust is one of my favorite gamies. Awesome, it is quite a lovely gamey. And one of the reasons I got into voice actings, I have been giddy all day and just wanted to thank you so much for brightening my day. Hey, hearing those kind words from you brightens my day as the not voice director of Dust and Elysian Tale, but still somebody who is quite a fan of it, and I'm so wonderful that I may as well be considered the voice director anyways. Let's see. Again, I'm glad that it helped make your week. And thank you so very much for the very kind words. It's so lovely to have you here. And hey, Andrew of the Hyper Game, it's good to see you. Hope you are doing wonderfully, as well as Muller and AKL, and Cookie wants galactic pie. I've never tasted such a thing, but that is a goal. Thank you so much for dropping by, and those bots and Sonic and Aaron, wherever they are, I hope that they are doing lovely as well. Thank you for dropping by. Today was trash day. Might find French fries? And only a week old? Oh, that sounds like heaven. Thank you so muchly, Sibuna. Oh, and you know, that reminds me, Joseph, you were talking about delivering me pasta. I actually did come across a very tasty pasta in my dumpster right before I went on live. It was quite yummy, so I'm like, was it you? Was it you? Thank you for being such a homie, as always. And of course, gotta get the I'm confused because like I feel like this pasta might have been a thing that was already delivered somehow. So I don't know if maybe you are a time traveler or something like that, but it seems like too odd of a coinky-dink that I already just had a delicious pasta that appeared seemingly out of nowhere right before I went on live. So I'm gonna assume that was you. So thank you for being great. And of course, I gotta get it out the way, and I fully understand for those of you who are not able, but those who can, any contributions to helping me become a marketable plushie, that would be very, very awesome, cool, and appreciated from the you. So, to get right back down to business, we are going to be going over more voicey demos, picking up from where we left off yesterday. And firstly, we have. Well, first, I want to make sure this stuff is going to play properly. I think it will. I think it will. I think it does. It better. It shoulds. I hope it could. Let's start off with this one by Sam Van Essendelft. Please play. Oh, it take us to website. Sure, we can does that. Let's does that. Hey! That's in the middle. Why would it the middle? Let's play from the begins. Star Spawn? I do not care to explain. Let's listen.
Eyes on target. Aim for shot. Gotcha.
Okay, so to that one, I would say it's so low energy, we don't really get much of a shift. We don't really get a whole lot of personality there. We want to get a lot of personality early on in a demo. So think about things that could happen when you maybe do start low-key, like, okay, lining up to target. Maybe then you get ambushed. Something crazy happens, so you go from being this guy to like, whoa, I'm a dynamic character. Somebody's attacking me, and I gotta fight him off. That way, we're hooked. We're in.
Alright, huddle up. That's right, I want all of you in here. Come on. Now this game is not going our way. Not at all. We lost the kicker with 27-4 on the score. And I don't think we have any idea what it means to be a team. But it doesn't mean we're out yet. Keep your heads high, boys. Roll Tide, and let's play some good old-fashioned football! Hey!
So I will say, I like your voice. You have a very enthusiastic, there's a musicality about you. There's a very youthful sound. I will say this is a mixing thing where not having all of the expertise can sometimes work against you if the choices are not correct for your mixing. With the way that was mixed, I think that it was maybe supposed to be like a locker room. I'm not sure if it was meant to be a locker room or you're in a stadium. The cheering made it kind of seem like it was a stadium, but the way it was sort of echoed and reverbed made it seem like it was in some kind of hallway. So you want to make sure that you're kind of on top of that. And if you're not sure how to approach the reverb, it's better to leave that kind of stuff off. And I would say, I do feel like your voice is so youthful that it would have lent itself better to maybe. It sounded like that was meant to be the or the coach of the team. I think because you're so youthful, it would have lent itself better towards maybe the quarterback, maybe the captain of the team, one of the players. But again, I enjoy the passion that's there. Mainly, that's a mixing thing for me.
Glad I was able to catch you. You run really fast. But at least I caught you. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, your shoes are untied.
That could be fun, but I would play more into what you're doing with your energy and your emotion. You started off very tired. It sounded like you'd run to catch up, but then that kind of wore off so quickly. And I think you could have kept that energy up. You could have kept that sort of vibe going. And then it would have a very funny tilt in the end if it seems like, I gotta say something very, very, very important. I gotta say something very, very important. Your shoes are untied. So then you kind of go from maybe something that seems serious to then ending on that funny note. And on top of that, having goofy music can actually take away from that sort of presentation. If you already have something that sounds goofy when you're running, it's different than if you start off with something that sounds very serious. I'm running. Wait, I gotta tell you something. Your shoes untied. That's funnier. That kind of gives us a surprise of not finishing with how we thought it would go from how it started. Again, and I like the voice there. You've got a unique gravel about yourself. These are characters that have strong potential. You gotta think in terms of how you're presenting them. Let's keep going.
Welcome, welcome to my local brew. It's not much, but it's home. I can serve you anything you'd like, as long as you have the coin to back it up. So then, what would you like to get started with?
Oh, I paused because I actually thought that one had already ended. One of the things to keep in mind is efficiency and length. And as I like to say, 5 to 9 seconds, or 6 to 9, is oftentimes the ideal length to have maybe one sentence to establish a character, and then another sentence or two to take them to a new place, to show how they react to changes around them, and to show a developed character with layers and levels to them. This is something where you, again, have this sort of comforting tone that I enjoy listening to. Is very pleasant, but gotta think of the efficiency, selling us something that is interesting, and we show interesting characters by layering them. Hathor, thank you so much for dropping on by. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Wait a second! I am not gonna do this! You must think I'm crazy. I'm just some normal guy. Not some kind of hero. You have the wrong guy. I'm out of here. You guys are freaking crazy. Like, really? Me? No. Going home.
I approve of the not swear. I will say to this one, sometimes the lack of context can really take away from a moment. So this is one where it kind of left me wondering, what exactly are you responding to that got you in this way? So that's something where potential rewriting could help. If you're actually saying, like, I can't believe that you brought up this really gets me. I enjoy, once again, the youthful quality of your voice. I could very easily see you playing like a Peter Parker sort of character. I could easily see you on a lot of protagonists. But again, think about what is given to your listener as far as information goes. If we end up having questions after you finished a piece, or we're thinking about those questions instead of focusing on what you're saying, then it can draw away from it a little bit. I also would want to hear the absolute peak of where your energy goes. If you are your absolute angriest, furious, screaming, freaking out, give us that. Give us the absolute extent of what you're capable of that has us say, whoa, you can go that far? All right, I'm going to remember that. As far as what you're conveying here, it's still a fun personality, still a wonderful voice, but give us the peak of your acting choices, something really powerful anytime you have the chance. I hear a lot of, again, just tons of potential in what I'm hearing here. I can tell you're a capable actor. You're making lots of choices all the same. There's a quirkiness to a lot of your choices. You can do very well in comedy. I'm gathering that much. I just want to see the peak of your intensity. All right, let's take a look at what else we have here. And hey, Grand Pierre, it's good to see you. thank you so much for dropping on by. And next we have Maggie Elise with a website. Let's take a... I was not expecting one of the most appetizing visuals I've ever seen. I need to make more of that seeable. Oh, this chicken is saying to me, "Come here, Rocky. I'm ready to be in your mouth right now. Mmm, delicious salmonella. Mmm. Ah, Samantha Onella, one of these days, we're gonna have a nice personal meeting. All right, with all of that said, oh, it's raw! That's not a problem when you're a raccoon. Let's hear the caricature demo.
What's the big deal? It was just a little prank. We were just washing the stench of nerd off of her. That's all.
It's cute. I wish it went a little bit further. Yes, it was a chicken. Lacking the jockey, however, so I'm very confused. I thought they always go together. It's raw, which means it's, ripe for the tasting. Alright. Let's, so again, I thought that first caricature was very, very cute. I wish it went a little further, but, still fun character, nice intro. Let's see where this goes. Also, hello, Cherina.
That's all. It's really nice to meet you. I'm Cindy, and I like bugs, especially the ones who live in my pockets. Okay.
So, my issue right now is, again, good character. I believe it was still lacking the strong emotional choice that I would hope to hear that shifted it from one place to another, but also it was very similar in terms of placement to the character that came before. So I could very easily imagine both of those first two characters being the same person. Right now, from what I've heard, I kind of just have you locked in as, okay, you'll play cutesy, younger kind of character who can be sort of emotionally frantic. You want to show off more than that within your first 20 seconds. I want to hear the polar opposite of what I heard the first time. So let's see what comes up next.
I can still hear them crawling through the walls, looking for me. Sometimes I can't tell whether I'm truly hearing them or if I'm just going crazy.
Okay, so you did go to the polar opposite. You've now put us into a much more serious genre. This is a intense horror drama. I like that. And again, really, really believe what you had going on there. Much older character. I likes to hear it. Was still waiting for that big acting choice. So what if these creatures that you're talking about, what if one of them comes and gets you? So we get the freak out. We get maybe the fighting. Maybe we get the sounds of pain and suffering. Things that can show us, all right, here's a character that you've established, but here's the powerful acting choice that shows us more of you as a talent. Again, your time usage is pretty efficient. I like the material you're working with. I like this. If this were material that's actually in a production, fantastic. That would play well here. But you gotta adjust your acting style for the purposes of a demo. You always gotta be about getting those big choices in.
Amazing! You did it! You transformed! Now, concentrate on your hands. Imagine your magic flowing through your fingers.
Again, still waiting for those big choices. Good character in and of itself once again, but veering close to the range of where those first two characters were at. We've already heard cutesy. I would like to hear something that's going to surprise me a little more. Although, again, I still do enjoy it. My issue is that character or either of the first two, I don't feel like you need all three of them. Just one of them would get the job done, and it's already implied that you can do the others.
wanted to sing like you. Share my voice with the world. But nobody wanted to listen. It just goes to show how stupid dreams can be.
Oh, I think I heard a pop on dreams. So those little technical things you gotta watch out for too. But the rest of the audio roll has been really high quality, so I won't dock that too much. But always something to be careful of on the demo. Always have those second set of ears, or just listen very closely for anything like that. I like this character once again, but we're going to go back to the subject of implied range. So I feel like we kind of got, take the acting of the third character, where you had a more emotional, dramatic sort of tone, and we've combined it with those younger voices. So it's once again, it's not like anything that is quite in this demo already, but it's still something that it is implied that you can do. You've shown us a mature character who is in a dramatic situation, and you showed us these more cutesy characters, and now we've taken that more younger, youthful, cutesier voice and put it on a dramatic character. I want to hear something that has me say, I don't know you could do that. I don't know you could do that. So that's what I'm looking for from this point onward. I want to hear something that's really, maybe something really crazy and weird and gremlin style. Something extremely high energy. Maybe the absolute highest and squeakiest you could go. The deepest you could go. Something that's maybe more of an animal style character. Maybe an accent. This is what I'm going to be looking for to hear.
To show how stupid dreams can be.
Please, won't you take me to my mama and papa? They're just down this way, but I'm too scared to go by myself. Won't you help me? Please?
So again, similar kind of thing where I've heard this range, but what you had potential to do to surprise me is to make an acting choice that is very, very, very distinct and will really set you apart. So you could still be in that kind of voice, but take your range, your acting range rather, your emotional range, to a place that is more distinctly creepy than you've ever gone before. Won't you please help me? Please? Something extra weird that, once again, even if the vocal range isn't changing that much, it's still a style of pacing, an acting choice, maybe a texture that surprises us a little bit more, and once again puts us in this place of, whoa, I didn't know you could do that. All of these, and I will say, because I don't want you to get it twisted, all of these characters individually on their own are well acted, well performed, and believable. Right now, I'm just talking about the sort of choices that you need to make to help your demo pop and stand out a little bit more. And that requires a different style of acting and presentation. Another thing on the mixing side, what we're getting a lot of is pieces that gradually fade out, and then we have a new piece fade in. We're all about efficiency here, so instead, those should overlap a little bit. As soon as one ends, we're immediately right into the next, saving that time for your listener. Always think of the person who has got 200 demos to listen to in a day. I've got 100.
Whoa, look at this. It looks like an old tome or something. Like, listen. Those who tread the path of the dark shall find their desires beyond the ancient's mark. The heck does that mean?
I like to think of myself as a young tome. So I like this genre. This is an intriguing piece that you have there, and I like this one because it is a different sort of approach. I'm getting a character who comes across as, I would say, more assertive There is much more of a scrappy, go get 'em attitude there that I do enjoy. I want to listen to this one again, but I did like what you were working with. Let me hear that again.
Whoa. Whoa. Look at this. It looks like an old tome or something. Like, listen. Those who tread the path of the dark shall find their desires beyond the ancient mark. The heck does that mean?
You know what? I'm just gonna stare at this delicious looking chicken some more. Well, hello, baby. Can I get your number later? Okay, so, again, I did enjoy that one. The mixing is a bit minimal. It would have added to that place, that setting, to maybe have some background ambiance as well. Maybe we're in some sort of creepy castle. Maybe we're in a forest. A little something to go alongside the music to set that stage for us just a little bit or more. On tops of that, I think that I don't know if it was the microphone quality or how it was mastered, but there was something about it that sounded like it was, I want to say in a higher frequency. Maybe there was some high pass filtering applied to that might have been a little bit excessive. Or maybe it's the microphone itself. Maybe it was some noise removal technique that was applied. But something about it just did have a drop in quality for me compared to some of the others. But at the same time, it was one of the last things in there, so it's already established that you can deliver pretty darn solid audio quality. But I will actually say, because that was one of the more distinct parts of the demo, I would have enjoyed having that closer to the beginning. Again, I hear tons and tons and tons of potential in here, in your acting and your ability to convey very believable characters. It's all about how you structure and present that for the purposes of a demo. Thank you so very much, Maggie, for sharing that. Johan Ram says, I was so confused on who this was on my sub list, and I read this was Darwin, Chef Hatchet, and Sonic the Hedgehog Mark. No, actually, as you can see down there, my name is Rockoon, Rocky J. Raccoon, professional tone, although I am the legal co-owner of this channel with that Dinkelberg Mork guy. You know, the untalented hack who, honestly, if I were allowed to be a voicey actor, I would have done all those voices like Chef Hatchet. I would have done it better than him. Sonic the Hedgehog, I would have done it a million times better. Everything he knows about voicey styles, he just learned from me, ripped off of me, and that's why there's a legal case, among other reasons, to eventually get what is rightfully mine, which is this Twitch rule and YouTube channel. All in due time. All in due time. Taking that chicken and bringing it to your dumpster, says Cookie. Thank you so very much, Lee. Nice. I don't have to walk or run very far to get to it. That is very sweet of you. Uneaten pizza, flat soda, flatbread pizza, ideally. Oh, you are too sweet. I appreciate it. Right. Let's, oh, Boot Hill's Dentist. Here's the thing, as far as stealing my role in Tome, because this is actually why I do have a legal case, I say as I feel like I'm going to sneeze at any moment. So, in Tome, that was actually my live action performance, autobiographical, of things that really happened to me in my existence. That is my physical, actual performance. And then he dubbed over my voicey with the voice that sounded absolutely nothing like me, and he got all of the credit. It's just totally unfair. It's so unfair. You know, it's hard out there for a tune. especially when this tune is named Rockoon. But again, one of these days, I'm going to set it right. And he will be the one living in the dumpster, as it should be. Right. Yeah, you know what? No worries. No worries, Johan. You were seeing all of this voice acting's knowledge, and I'm assuming you were thinking that, oh, he must know about that stuff. And also, sometimes I have garbage bags strewn about here, and people see the garbage bags and assume those are him. But I'm like, no, those are just ordinary garbage bags. But no worries. It happens every once in a while. All right. With all that said, why don't we keep moving on? And next we have Patrick. Patrick, don't hurt me. No, I'm sorry. You probably get that a lot. Patrick Hurt. Let's take a listens to your demo. And oh, that's on the Googles. Let's change this so we're getting a look at the Googles. There we go. Here's the Googles. Let's listen.
You took out 6 of my henchmen and infiltrated my base. But I've got you now. You see... just a moment.
For heaven's sake, how hard is it to get a decent cup of coffee around here?
Where was I? The mask calls...
Oh, that caught me off guard. I was so confused by the coffee thing. But it's funny. I like how it was utilized. It's funny. And definitely, again, caught me off guard, surprised me. The way in which it was mixed, the proximity of it made it seem like, oh, that's all up in my face. I thought it was somebody else who was drinking the coffee. So that one caught me for a sec. I don't know if that was a sound effect or if it was you actually drinking the coffee, but it just didn't sound like it was coming from the same place where the voicey was coming from. So that one confused me. I'm gonna listen to this again, so now I can have a better understanding of what is being gone for. That's how language is used good. Way to go, Rocky. What you're going for?
You took out 6 of my henchmen and infiltrated my base. But I've got you now. You see... just a moment.
For heaven's sake, how hard is it to get a decent cup of coffee around here?
Where was I?
So I like the intensity. I like that this went places. I think that 19 seconds is way too long to establish this this character. I would try to see if you can find a way to restructure that to maybe go about 10 seconds, maybe 12. That still really pushes it for me for a demo piece. But still fun, if not a little long to get there. And I feel like we are hearing a person, semi-regular person voice, which I do like to hear at the start of a demos. We'll keep going.
Mask calls to me.
Oh, I don't like how that paused in the middle. We'll start again.
Coffee around here.
Where was I? The mask calls to me. The townsfolk are in trouble. I have many reasons to put it on and embrace the power.
Why does it keep doing that? It keeps pausing and not... I don't know if anybody else tends to have that problem with Google Drive audios. That might just be a me thing, but this does tend to happen when I hear demos on Google Drive every now and then. So weird. We'll go back again and hopefully don't pause. Let me hear it all.
Where was I? The mask calls to me. The townsfolk are in trouble. I have many reasons to put it on and embrace the power. But then there's the cost. Smelling mother's flowers no longer feels like home. What part of me is next to go? Never mind. The people need me. once more into the breach. We have your men.
Really, 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 really well acted. I believe it. I like it. It did not need to be 25 seconds. That's way too much time, unfortunately. We were about, I'm going to say 7 or 8 seconds in, and by that point, I already understood who the character was. And I was hoping that you were going to shift them into a radically different place, but that didn't happen. I was hoping that with the way you were talking, we were going to really, really get into like a dark side of the character, to see something new, as opposed to just kind of still carrying on with that same sort of speech in that same sort of tone. Again, it's believable for what it is, but for the purposes of a demo, it's not efficient and it doesn't show me enough of what you can do and places you can take that character through a powerful acting choice. Again, though, you were a very, very good actor. I love that voice. I believe that character. It was really, really well done, just not what you would want to have in an efficient demo. It's gonna do that pausing thing on me, ain't it? You're gonna do that. You're gonna do that. You're gonna do that. I will destroy you.
Once more into the breach. We have your men aboard one of our ships. They are lashed together with the end of a rope tied to the anchor. Vex me, and your men are thrown overboard. Try anything foolish, and I order the anchor dropped. The Zonchil.
Again, similar kind of thing. I believe this character, but we never really had much of a choice. You do have that pause before I order the anchor dropped. But the shift was minor compared to what I was hoping for. We kind of get maybe slightly more sinister, where I want to see just how dark and depraved and horrifying you can be. Like, okay, I'll be the nice guy. Here's what you gotta do. Do this, do that, and do that. And if you don't, I'm gonna do this, and I will be your worst nightmare. So again, think in terms of those big shifts and keeping it efficient. And hey, Flaming Pit, I am glad. That is really the purpose of this. For anybody who might be looking to get into voice actings, doesn't have a demo yet, or maybe they do has a demo, I'm hoping people can, whether I'm reviewing theirs or not, that they can learn things from this that can be applied to the general sense. Including the military general sense.
Will be here any moment.
Oh, let's go a little further back, because that one started in the middle of it. Here we go.
And I order the anchor dropped.
Google Drive, why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me?
Chills will be here any moment. Nartel, make sure we have enough pine pitches for torches. Torben, make sure the Fletchers are still making arrows. Martin, I want eyes on the hilltop watching for the signal fire at all time. We will not be caught with our pants down. You hear me?
Good intensity. I like where that went in the end. That was a shift that I was waiting for, but it took a little too long. What I'm going to say once again about efficiency still applies here. But on top of that, urgency is a major thing too. And to add a little bit more suspense to this scene, I would like to hear you physically worked up. I think there were times where you felt a little bit too calm for what is going on here. So I want that heart rate. I want that element of breathlessness. All right, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this. You get me? It's important stuff. So have that sort of physicalization layered over what's going on here to ramp things up and really have your listener taking on that thrill ride along with you. But everything else is there. I love the ending. I love the music. I just feel like it takes a little too long overall, and in the build-up could use some more intensity. Dreamers, hiya. Thank you for dropping in, and thank you so very much for your submission. I look forward to getting to that. Honestly, any I will try to, might be hard for me, but I will try to prioritize those who are here and listening and have submitted their demos. Especially because this is actually going to have to be a pretty short stream for me. I'm going to be going for, because I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to stream today at all because I was doing voice directoring. But I'm going to be able to go for about 50-ish more minutes. All right, let's keep listening. Oh, and Johan says, question related to all of this, but how do voice demos work? Is it just clips put together of things you voiced in, or you voicing random scenarios with different voices? Cause it confuses me. The thing is, it can actually be either, or other, or both. Bottom line is, it should feel like it is various scenes and clips that are taken from finished products, whether they are totally made up or whether they actually are from things that the person has worked on. One can technically make a voicey demo without ever being in any production ever, just to say, hey, here's what I'm capable of doing. But if you have a rich amount of history and many projects you have been in, you can just say, oh, you know what? I really like that 7 seconds from here. Yoink, into the demo it goes. And you can have that in addition to, well, no one's ever hired me to do this kind of voice before, but I want to show that I can do it. So I'm just going to write and record something in that kind of voice. And yoink, there it goes in the demo alongside an actual clip from an actual thing. And the point is to show off as much as you can, range-wise and acting and emotion and genre-wise, within about a minute to, I like to say a minute to a minute 20 in length is the sweet spot for me for a voicey demo. All right, let us continue the listening. Jonathan, I don't think they're gonna have, if they didn't have SpongeBob talk in that game, then they're not gonna have Tangle and Whisper talk in that game. I mean, even Werehog, I mean, like, very sad. So, yeah, even so, they would be casting somebody who is connected to Studiopolis, and Maggie Elise is not that. They are not known for taking fan performers and putting them into a thing. So if they were to cast that, it would likely be someone else. Hi, Eva. I did not know that I was going to stream today either, but life is full of surprises. And Fluffbat, thank you so muchly for the follow. I am doing quite well. I hope the same can be said for the you. Right, let us continue and see what is probably maybe 1 or 2 more clips in here.
Flute is not a drum.
I'll go back a little bit because we were kind of already in it.
Pants down! You hear me?
Ain't no thing if you don't have pants. Pants are so restrictive, to be honest.
The lute is not a drum, boy. You mustn't beat the lute. You must finesse the lute. Whatever strength you think you may have doesn't mean a hoot here. Learn to tap the beach with your foot to keep time while you play. Ah! You'll be the death of me yet!
That shift really caught me off guard. Wow. I want to say something real quick to you, Patrick. You sound, and I didn't notice it before, but especially on this character, you sound a lot like Lucien Dodge, the actor of many things, including Waver Velvet from the Fate series, as well as, I know him best as Dust from Dust and Elysian Tale. I hear a very similar lot of traits to him in you, and that's a good thing. I will say to this one, could have once again benefited from having more shifts in tone. That was a very, very long segment. But it wasn't until the very, very end, when I think we're maybe about 15, 16 seconds or more in, that it really kind of goes somewhere else. So what we could have done with this character is show even more increasing irritation. Boy, you'll never succeed that way. Why aren't you doing... You're making me even more aggravated. And then we kind of have that peak of that yelling that came out towards the end. But again, it took too long to get us to that place, but at least with a gradual build, we could see where it's going. But ideally, something like this should again be somewhere within that 5 to 9 seconds-ish mark. Once again, establish the character, and in the first sentence, 1 or 2 sentences to establish a character, and then 1 or 2 sentences to take them somewhere else. You should only need 2 to 3 sentences in total to help us sell a character for a demo segment. So, Jamie, thank you so much for dropping on by. It is so good to see you. It was so good to work with you recently, and we're gonna have more of that real soon, I'm sure. Hopes yous is doing wonderfuls and feeling wonderfuls. Alright, let us continue. So we are going to move away from the Google Drive. And to sum that up, Patrick, I want to again say, you are very, very talented in terms of having a unique sound, showing a lot of personality, and just your range of emotion. I can tell that it's strong and where your energy is able to go. I'm just thinking about the efficiency of how your demo is structured. Right, now we are shifting over to... how have these guys sent their demos? I had demo submissions occur over the Twitter and the Blueski. Alright, what have we here? I will now look at next submission, which I have already heard from Darian MacArthur. Was very nice, as well as Dante M. Dreamers, I would like if you are still here, again, I would like to hear your demo. I will prioritize those who are watching right now. If not, I will just continue to try to go in order as best as I can. Alright, let's listen to the here. Roles that I did. This is not a demo. Okay, so obviously can't listen to all of these because it would take me a while. So I'm gonna try to listen to the newest one, because the newest one is most likely to be indicative of where you are currently at as a performer. But how do I know which ones are you? How do I know which ones are you, Cammy? Okay. Let's play Puppy Playtime, maybe? I'm worried. Oh, it's not so bad. It's not so bad.
I asked you to play fair, and you cheated! I hate cheaters! Now, we're going to play one last game!
Cammy, that you? Is that you? Cause, I really like that intensity. Okay, I'm assuming that one is Mommy Lamb Legs. This is how you know I'm very hungry. Mommy Long Legs. Oh yes, Spider. I see now. Spider. That's you. Great intensity. Great intensity. Love it.
It's called hide and seek. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
each one of those number deliveries, I never knew where it was going next. That's such a great choice to make. I wanted to hear you say each individual number because it wasn't just a straightforward 10, 9, 8. Everything was different. Everything was weird, unique. I love that. It's these little things that really matter. You could pull material directly from here and just put it in a demo. Why not? Uh-huh.
What have you done? You make me part of him. You can't do this to me.
You are going for it.
Please? I really don't want to be this way.
Why?
Because if you kill me, the prototype will see me, and he'll drag me, and he'll end up for me, being worse than me. And the prototype is being worse and much worse than us.
I feel like, now I am enjoying the delivery, but I feel like your audio quality changed somewhat. I'm not sure what might be different here, but it sounds like a different microphone. Either way, I like the delivery.
And they'll take their dead or alive toys away from them. And they make them worser. That's why I try to stay away from the prototype and never see me. And that's why I don't want to be killed or being kidnapped by the prototype. And to you, I'm really sorry for trying to kill you, being hard on you, and kidnapping Poppy the doll. To me, and I'll give you the train gold, and we'll leave this place to get things right.
How can I not cry as a former villain? This connects with me on a very, very deep level. Do you know how badly I've wanted to give apologies for for nothing, actually, because I'm great, I'm awesome, I'm cool, I'm great, 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 I'm great.
Oh my, you're right. I'm so sorry too. And I feel bad for you now.
Please, give me a hug. I won't try to kill you anymore. It will end all of this evil. It's vicious stuff that were responsible for ruining this factory. I'm sorry.
Oh, that hit. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this journey. Miho knows nothing about Poppy Playtime. This is now, everything I know about Poppy Playtime is now comprised of that single individual video. So I gotta say, like, the intensity where you went to was off the hook. The screaming, the variety of choices, you really, really took me on a journey, and I was like, oh, what? So what I will say is, and this is gonna be a mic technique thing, it really, really felt that once we got to the second half of things changed a lot in terms of audio quality. At least it felt like that to me. Maybe that was how it was mixed. Maybe that's not even how you recorded it. Maybe that was done to it with whoever handled the audio. But I feel like we definitely lost a step in terms of the technicalities of things. I would also say I feel like enunciation started to slip a little bit too, which can work in a character's favor sometimes if they're crying. Maybe things are just so sloppy and so gloopy, it's hard to get certain words out. But in this case, it didn't seem as much like it was an intentional choice. It was even a few times, like when you were saying prolotype, the L not being very enunciated, it sounded more like prototype. I can't remember exactly how I heard it, but it was few kind of things like that. So when you have those much smaller, more intimate moments, you also want to make sure that you're pretty intimate and close towards your microphone, so things are getting picked up. Because if you are too far away, of course you also got to make sure you're not popping your microphone. Poppy's playtime. We don't want that kind of popping. But if you are close enough, it'll be easier to clean up that audio when you have those much more personal, intimate moments, which a lot of this was comprised of in the second half. Still, really, really impressed with your energy, with your creativity, and what you are able to do as a performer. I hope that you do has a proper demo in the near future. Johan, I do need to say right now I've got a backlog of about 100 demos to listen to. So I actually need to close this off for those who have submitted after the date of when I started yesterday when I started reviewing these. Otherwise, I'm gonna be here for a really long time. All right, let's listen to another's. Squirrel, 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 aka squill, 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 squill. All right, fellow forest brethren, I look forward to hearing your styles. Yeah, sorry, Johan, but I promise I will open this up again in the futures. And I would honestly say it's best to not rush to making a demo anyways. Lots of people tend to put like weeks, sometimes even months into putting a demo together. So anything that you would put together in like just a few minutes would be far less than ideal. I would want you to have something good where you can do your studies, do your research, and know what you're getting into. Cookie, I wouldn't know because I'm not a voicey actor.
Excuse me, milady. I believe you misplaced this pencil during algebra. I require no reward, but may I perchance steal a kiss, madame? Yeah, saw that coming.
I love how squirrely that voice is to start out. I'm hearing the teeth. I'm hearing the teeth. I love it. I love it. I love to see it. Although I will say that style of voice might not be ideal to lead off a demo with. Sometimes we do have to hide some of our foresty instincts, which some might see as inhibitions when they aren't. But unfortunately, we might, me brown chocolate raccoon. We might want to lead in with something that is going to be a little bit more everyday human.
You're telling me that this phone can play movies, predict the weather, and get my mail at the same time? Well, roast my own rabbits, I'll take it. Y'all take cow paws as payment?
Fun, I like the energy. But we are still kind of, again, leading into two characters that I wouldn't really say qualify for that, like, just a person. I'm regular human like John, and I could be your next door neighbor or student or something like that, or a protagonist. We need to have something like that somewhere in here, ideally early on.
Dude, your apple fritters are the best. If you sell these, you can make some serious dough. Get it? It's a pun. Dough means money, and I'll shut up now.
That's the one I wanted. That's the one that I think should be closer to the front. It can be limiting when somebody hears a demo and they immediately are just like, "Oh, you do like caricatures of like maybe like goofy stereotype type characters. You don't want to be thought of as that one. Much more often people are going to get cast to be person, and that right there was fun, quirky person.
Short! Short! Listen here, buddy. The only thing that's short is the time it'll take to put you 6 feet under eating worms in a concrete box. So don't you dare be calling me short!
I like the character. I feel like there is a level beyond where you went with your intensity. I feel like this person could have yelled and screamed and it would have been funnier and it would have showed me that you're not afraid to go there. Because right now, I don't know if it was a conscious decision to dial it back or if it's not something that you're accustomed to doing with ease. I would really want to hear the big choice where you just, I'm going to turn things down for this one, where you just absolutely scream your head off. Ah! I would want to get that for a character like this. I have my my volume dial under here. It's not visible. That's why I wasn't reaching towards the microphone. Otherwise, I would have. All right, let's hear some more.
Oh man! So don't you dare box! So don't you dare be calling me short! Oh man, that was a gnarly wipeout. Listen, dude, you're not supposed to ride the waves. You gotta become the waves. One with the universe, bruh. Now listen here,
That's another one where I'd want to hear you go further to lean into that. You gotta take it. If you are going to lean into one of the like stereotype sort of characters, you gotta go all in and really feel like you are thrusting yourself physically transforming into that dude, man. I want like all of those gestures and to be able to see, come on, brain, we can do this. Just 20 more minutes and then we're out. I want to be able to feel like I can see the physical motions that you're making with all of that. If you want to be that sort of zen dude, I want to picture that. If you want to have those moments where you're extra passionate, brah, come on, dude. We want those levels. We want that physical commitment. So again, solid character in and of itself, but I want to hear you commit further. Especially when you're doing the stereotype sort of things like some of these are. Let's go a little further back.
This, bruh. Now listen here, Chaos Wizard. You may be powerful and strong and really scary, but with the power of my friends, nothing's gonna stop me from... Wait, not the fireball! Ah!
Oh, you just started screaming and then you stopped. I wish that we got to hear more. We got like a little of what felt like the peak of your screaming and intensity, and I really wanted to get it from that. I am enjoying all of these characters. Each one is very distinct, but I'm waiting for that one big moment where we really maximize where your energy is able to go. And I feel like this would have been a really good moment for it. Especially for you to go peak intensity. If you're standing up to this wizard, I really want to feel like, where are we? Is he like... He's got to be maybe some distance away. Maybe there's some sort of powerful thing being conjured in the background. I would really want to see just how worked up and intense you can get. I hear so much potential here in terms of your versatility, in terms of your quirkiness. You have comedic timing. I'm seeing that on display too. Just want those big choices to show me the extreme highs and the extreme lows of where you're capable of going within a single character. Bryant Rodriguez, thank you so very much, aka Squill. Thank you for sharing this with us and gracing us with another forest homie. I love to see it. All right, we has Kokoro, I remember listening to yours yesterday, and I can't remember if I listened to Nora or not, so why don't I just start to play, and see if this is one I heard before. That is 2 minutes and 47 seconds, which is way longer than a demo should actually be. But let's take a listens. Oh, and I did say previously to help me go through all of these, because some people sent me stuff that was way too long. If a demo goes over 2 minutes, I'm not gonna listen to more than 2 minutes, because it's a lot to break down.
They say the worst thing that can happen to anyone is having to bury your own child. Well, let me tell you, Pietro, there is something worse. My son is dead, and I can't bury him because he never existed.
Dun dun dun. Didn't see that twist coming. I like the acting. 20 seconds on a segment is too long, so try to get, I would say the absolute maximum one should ever do, to me, is 15 seconds. If you want to have a long segment, I'd say 12, but for me, sweet spot for anything is between 6 and 9 seconds. Well acted, but I don't feel like we, again, went to that high point that I was really looking for, which I will look for in demos more so than I will when somebody's performing a straight up script. Again, still, I like the emotion. This was well played, but for a demo, we need more efficiency.
I can't even tell my own wife.
Oh, it wasn't done.
This morning, you know what? I'm sitting there with all these memories whirling around in my head. I'm grieving for my dead son, and she's telling me some joke she heard on Letterman.
Oh, I thought we were done. Yeah, this is very not efficient. Sorry. Again, it's interesting. I like what you have to say, but yeah, not for a demo.
And she wonders why I'm not laughing.
A captivating tale, Jennifer. The humiliation of your enemy will certainly nourish the mothers.
Remember, kids, sleep 8 hours at sea and keep one eye open. Greetings, I am Dorothy Dew.
So that previous one was efficient and did not go on nearly as long. So I was actually surprised that it ended that fast, because the first one was so long. That's the thing you got to keep in mind, because if somebody only listens to, let's say, the first 5-10 seconds of a demo, they wouldn't have gotten there. They wouldn't have heard that you could do that. Always got to think of a person who's got 100 demos to listen in a day. They reach a point where they just start skipping through if they are not hooked and intrigued and constantly surprised by what comes next. I want to go a little further back because, like, again, wasn't ready for that one to end that soon.
Captivating tale, Jennifer. The humiliation of your enemy will certainly nourish the mothers.
Very impressive that you were able to go there. Totally different from the first one.
Remember, kids, sleep 8 hours at sea and keep one eye open. Greetings, I am Dorothy Dew, America's favorite sailor. Hey, so...
I feel like that was sort of written in reverse. I feel like you should have introduced the name first and then said, and remember, kids, this thing, so that way we kind of... Because at first, we started out with me, like, wondering who this character was, and then I didn't learn who the character was until it was over. So flipping the sentences there would have helped that one out for me. But I like the voice. I like the voice. I like the character. I think it is unique. I think it's interesting. I think there's personality there. But sometimes the writing can work against you, and this was a case of that for me.
I saw this girl at Zach's party. Do you have, like, a sister that goes here? Cousin, maybe?
Please let me
I think that one works for what it is. It's quick, and it sort of conveys that sort of, like, college, sort of like, bro, sort of jock sort of thing. That works for me.
Please let me differ. Please, God, I need this.
I'm not sure what's happening there, unfortunately. The emotion, I bought it, but it's one of those things where I'm too confused by what's going on in that scenario. I somebody needs something, but I don't know exactly what it is that they need so badly. So again, another instance of we don't want to have too many questions going on throughout the read, trying to figure out what is happening, as opposed to focusing on what you're saying and how you're saying it. And again, sometimes that can really work against the demo.
Drawing the circle in such a way that your demonic...
A little further back.
Drawing the circle in such a way that your demonic might is reduced. Always a bad sign. Oh no.
I feel like the lack of mixing might be hurting this one. The lack of music, because sometimes I'm not sure when something is ending and when we're going into something new. That's also one of the reasons why having those musics and sound effects can help you just a little bit. I'm gonna listen to that one more time.
Please let me differ. Please, God, I need this.
I went a little too far back.
Drawing the circle in such a way that your demonic might is reduced. Always a bad sign.
So this one's a little tricky because it sounds like we started it in the middle of a sentence that we didn't get to hear the beginning of. I like the character because I can tell what you're going for. But I think that we could make a different choice after the first sentence to sort of differentiate and show us maybe just how desperate and how important this is. You know, drawing the circle at this time, always a bad sign. Really give us more doom, foreboding, something that is even more different to finish compared to where we started. But still, I like that as a character. Once again, something that works on just a regular, everyday person, which is nice to have sprinkled throughout every kind of demo.
Oh no. And of course, summoned to unfortunate locations.
Oh, this is the same one. Okay, once again, that confusion about not knowing when things start and stop. I'm gonna play one more time from the beginning.
Always a bad... like drawing the circle...
Okay. Here we go.
Drawing the circle in such a way that your demonic might is reduced. Always a bad sign. Oh no. And of course, summoned to unfortunate locations.
Ye should steer.
Okay, so that one again, I would be looking for even more of those shift in tones, especially when you have that oh no moment, like, oh no, that's a moment where you can maybe start to bring in even more panic and terror. Show us that like things have gone so badly, so haywire, that now maybe this character has gone from like, all right, I know what I'm talking about. I'm the cool, confident person. Oh no, we're screwed. Everything's bad. Wrong. That would have been a nice place to take this. To once again keep the intrigue up. I like the voice, I like the character, but for the purposes of the demo, we gotta think efficiency.
Clear the long ear for a bit. Elves go bonkers when the full moon's out. Yes.
I like the dialect, and this one was much more efficient. I'm assuming the next one is just started. And again, I like when you have this length where we establish a character very quickly, we learn what they're about, and then we can move on to the next one. Abang, thank you for dropping by, as well as Reko Gecko. Hola. Let's continue on. And Terog, I hope you can hear things a little bit more betterer now.
Go bonkers when the full moon's out. You're so ugly, clumsy ape, stupid mayfly. Just die already. Ka, ka.
I want to hear you give us your all with, again, very unique voice, though. Not expecting you to pull that out, so I liked it. Kept me surprised, but really, really give it your all with the just die already. Yeah! Hold nothing back. We want to get the absolute peak of your energy and your intensity, especially in a demo.
He asked if I'm for real. And I said yes. We both know I'm not real. My life is a shadow. You live in the light. And so I watch. Watch and wait for my chance to take it all back.
I like where that went. I really, really like where that went. I think this one could be shorter, but I like that we got to build towards the end with the take it all back. There was intensity there, different ending compared to where we started. That's the kind of thing I really, really like to hear. I feel like this one could be trimmed to be more efficient. The ending was a little confusing with like the character saying, if I recall correctly, asked if I'm real, and I said yes, but you both know that I'm not real. So I'm like, are you real? Are you not real? I'm a little confused by that. But even so, the emotion that you brought to it, especially in that ending, the way that built, mwah, I like it a lot. Again, great potential here with more efficiency. And with more builds, like that particular part, I think maybe like the first 5 seconds or so, maybe more, could be cut and you could still have something pretty solid out of that. But more efficiency and you could have something really, really, really good here. Just remember to show us that intensity, the highs and lows of characters more often. And I did say I'm not going to listen to more than 2 minutes of any particular thing, so I'm gonna move on to another one now. But thank you so very much, Nora, for the sharing of that.
Oh yeah?
So let's listen to Kevin Pakulan. I hope I didn't pronunciate that wrongly. To Rogue, it depends on I haven't seen yours yet. But it depends on when you submitted them, because I had like a whole bunch of people who submitted theirs like after I kind of like closed things off and started streaming. And considering I have like 100-something submissions, I can't start to take on all the ones who started to send after I'd already begun. That's just, it'll have me be here forever. But Rogue, did you send yours before or after I started yesterday? I'm curious. Okay, then you know what? I'm gonna listen to yours after I listen to this.
Oh yeah? I'll bet we take this up a notch, and I'll show you how a real food fighter fights! Ha! How'd you like that, huh? What happened, Butch? Blinded by the meatloaf? Here's some leftovers! Mr. Turk? Sorry, you got in the way, okay? Listen to me.
That one could have been maybe about 7 seconds shorter, but I like where it went. I really, really like where it went. I thought, oh, we're going to have something that's low-key, and then we went into a food fight, and it was great. It was frantic, but once we established that, we stayed in that new place longer than we needed to. I just need to hear you establish a character and change them, and once you've done that, we can move on to the next one. And let's hear the next one.
Okay? Listen to me. You can do anything. Anything that your heart can dream. Know why? Because I believe in you. And believers help grant dreams the power they need to become real.
That is so sweet. Oh, that's so inspirational. I really enjoy that. I needed to hear that. I will say this, very, very genuine, very heartfelt. I like it. Too long for demo purposes, considering that was maybe about 20 seconds long and didn't have the character really shift to somewhere else. It was more so just kind of a mini speech. At this point, we want to again show off more of your acting range and the choices that you can make. So I don't think that this was the ideal thing for this moment, even though it is well acted. And right now, it doesn't also show me, it's a different tone for sure, but I've already heard that you can play sort of like young teenish young adult person with the first one, so I would want to get something radically different in terms of range with your second one. I would want to hear the highest you can go or the lowest you could go, or some kind of unique accent, something that's going to really differentiate.
It doesn't pay to be squeamish. You're gonna have to touch corpses here. Oh, pick that up. Alien guts, bones. You know what you should never touch? My hair gel. Do not touch my hair gel or I will end you. Get the hell out of my way.
So I like that. You're making lots of choices. Let me hear the first one again.
Oh yeah? How about we take this up a notch?
So I guess as far as the arrogance goes, it definitely is more arrogant than other characters that you played. It's well mixed, by the way. I want to add that as well. I really heard all of the ick. But I feel like right now it's not immediately giving me these things that make me say like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And that's what I'm looking to hear at this point in time in the demo. I still enjoyed it for what it was, but I feel like right now, from the first 3 things I've heard, it's not showing me that like that whoa wow. Right now I'm looking to hear like what else can you surprise me with. Again, I like them individually though.
I have to touch. Touch. Do not. Get the hell out of my way. That's not seriously the password to you. It is. What a kinky fella! We're dealing with a kinky guy here. Anyways,
3,000 credits, no less. I don't work for.
I like the comedic timing. I that did make me laugh. To go from the anyway, that's funny. That catches me off guard in one of the best of ways. Very, very well timed. That is quite amusing. I feel like it could have been a little shorter, but I don't mind that so much. If you can make somebody laugh within your demo, that's always, always, always a plus. Especially if you can do it early on. And you did do so early on with the food fight thing coming out of nowhere.
Charity in this line of business, and if you want him alive,
I think the filtering might be a little too heavy on here and might make you a little difficult to hear. I'm gonna go back, but I feel like I have to listen real close to hear what you're saying.
Anyways,
3,000 credits, no less. I don't work for charity in this line of business, and if you want him alive, I charge an additional 15,000 credits just for the inconvenience. Oh, and if he makes a mess on my ship, are you writing this down?
I like it. I like it in the sense that it is a different character. You've got somebody with more authority. You've got somebody in that position of power. But the mixing as far as the filtering combined with the musics combined with the sound effects was a little bit much, where sometimes I'm like, oh, I really gotta focus in order to make out what you're saying. And that's something to be careful on for a segment that I still overall quite enjoyed. Let's keep listening.
A mess on my ship. Are you writing this down?
Take out the garbage already, he says. Just go out and take the garbage, you tentacle worm. Oh, next time I'll show him garbage. I'll haul his body to the curb. You think these tentacles can't garrote you?
oh yeah?
Okay, I want to say, I really liked that last one a lot because it was so distinct compared to the others. It felt older, it felt grimier, it felt totally distinct to when we had a lot of characters who were just kind of sort of quirky human guy, another sort of quirky human guy. They were all of them had some differences here and there, but this one is nothing like the others. I wish that came in way sooner. I wish that one at the end would have been maybe the second or third thing in the demo, because again, very different. You came in with this with this sort of weird tentacled sort of creature and the dialect and everything. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But if I was going through one of my days where I'm just clicking through demos as quickly as possible, trying to get a general idea of people as quick as I can, and I only listen to the first 10, 15, 20 seconds, I would never have heard that. So you got something unique, put it very close to the front. You should have a version of yourself, should be one of the first characters, and then the second or third thing we hear should be as far away from that as possible. And I feel like that's what we got, but it was all the way at the end. Really enjoyed that, though. Really strong note to go out on, but I wish it was an earlier note. All right. Terug VE. We are going to get yours in here. I am assuming your tweeter is the same. Terug Va. Oh, yes. Oh, Sam, I did actually review yours earlier. So you'll be able to look back in the VOD. It might have been the second or third one that I reviewed, but I did actually go over that earlier. Thank you so very much, Lee, for submitting that. So yes, I wasn't sure from your name. If I knew you were Sam, then if I knew you were Sam, I would have said so earlier. My bad. Sometimes I remember the names better than I remember the handles. But thank you so very much for submitting the yours. So next week is hey, Fluffbat, you was here, and I hope you is still here, but I appreciate you dropping by earlier. Let's listen to this one, and this is what we are going out on. Here we go. 3 minutes and 33 seconds long. I'm sorry, but that is much longer than the demo should be. As I've said, I'm only gonna listen to 2 minutes of a demo maximum. The ideal place for a demo's length is there are many who will be like, if your demo goes over 1 minute, even 1 second over that, I will kill you. I'm not that guy. I like a minute 20 seconds is usually my cutoff. If I'm feeling real generous, a minute 30. But this is 2+ minutes on top of that, so we're just gonna hear the first 2 minutes. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Eddie Reisner. Okay, note to self. Smoke bombs go off after the dramatic line, not before. Alright, you little fuzzballs. The name's Venny, Ravenclaw's 3rd-class foot soldier, and today's your unlucky day. Okay, plan B!
Okay, as somebody who's a fuzzball who knows a whole lot about bombs, this one very much appealed to me. I enjoyed it for what it was, but this is not a good demo clip. This was a full-on, scene. A segment really should be about 6 seconds long to 9 or 10 seconds long. To go much further beyond that is more than we need. You want to have a sentence or two to establish the character, and then a sentence or two to take them somewhere. You did show us some levels at the okay, plan B, but again, took us too long to get there. I just want to know, who's this guy? How can you show me this character in an interesting way? Cool, on to the next. And speaking of, let's get on to the next.
I swear these little nuggets got ninja training or something.
Oh, then there was still more. Yeah, another sign that that's too long. We've gone 30 seconds in and I've only heard one character. Typically, this is half the length of many demos. So at that point in time, we want to have at least 3 characters should have come through by now. In some really efficient demos, 4 or 5 characters would have been here.
units.
Go a little further back.
Swear these little nuggets got ninja training or something. All units. This is Lieutenant Ivanov. Enemy convoy sighted. 4 armored transports. Critical 5. Moving southwest. They don't know we see them. And that is our advantage. Our only one. No mercy. No survivors. No noise. Understood? Aye! Hey!
I like the dialect. It is definitely a major shift. I would say sometimes the writing can work against you, because here you are kind of getting more intense and saying, no noise! Everybody be quiet! And that can work against what's going on here. So that sort of line I wouldn't necessarily have in there, unless, again, we're doing a stealth mission. So saying no noise makes more sense if you're trying to be low key, no noise. You understand? I do like this caricature. I like how you got more intense, but once again, gotta think in terms of the efficiency. Don't take too long to get to that point. We want to maybe start here. You're talking to comrades. You're trying to tell them the rules of war. And then you get really big and passionate. Maybe you get more angry. Don't take too long to get there. You did get there. All about efficiency, though. Let's go a little further back.
Advantage. No survivors. No noise. Understood?
Alright, so gonna listen to about another minute or so beyond here. What do we got?
Understood? Aye! They brought enough men for a war! Signal the harpoon crews! Load the broadside! I want their lead ship burning before they blink! You hear that thunder?
Oh, it should have ended there. It should have ended at burning before they blink. That's enough time for this to be established. Don't need to hear more. I thought and hoped it was ending there because we had that long pause. And a long pause in a voice demo is not a good thing. We gotta be efficient.
Blink. You hear that thunder? That's not the sky! That's us! We are the storm!
Your intensity is amazing. I love it. Here's what I'm going to mention as well. We just had 2 war guys back to back. That is something that you should avoid. It's not to say you can't have both clips in this demo, but if you have like, I'm Gravelly War voice guy and I'm other Gravelly War voice guy, you have maybe one can be closer to the beginning and the other closer to the ending, so we don't feel like we're stuck in war world. I did thoroughly enjoy that one, though. This most recent one, I enjoyed it more because it went more intense, it went crazier. Maybe you can have this war guy this one went really, really big. Maybe the other one could be more subtle and stay more over here and be more sneaky. That way you further differentiate the 2 of them even more. But this one that I just heard, I think that one needs to be closer to the beginning. This one really, really got my attention. Again, just wish it were a little shorter, too.
You should have run when I was still human enough to care. You woke the storm. Now drown in it!
Oh, that's great. I hope it ends there. Good yell. Didn't need to hear it. I understood what the character was, and you already showed me that you could yell by the way you said, now drown in it! I really enjoyed that. Gotta think about efficiency here. Hello, Ditman. Squeak, squeak.
Flicker of light was once a soul. Now they all glow for me. I don't steal lives. I immortalize them in silence. In stillness, forever. Shh. Can you hear it? That soft hum beneath your heartbeat? That's your soul calling to me.
Great subtlety, great mixing. I was intrigued, I was hooked, I was in. And this is a style that not many are that great at, and you thrived at it. I feel like there were various points where I'm like, oh, this is great, we could end it here. And then we kind of have another segment of, oh, this is great, we could end it here. Then another segment of, oh, this is great, we end it here. So pick a piece, I would say. Pick a good, solid 6 to 9 seconds, maybe 6 to 8 seconds, and be like, there, that's our piece. I would say, actually, let me listen again, because I think the ending was the one that got me the best. The heartbeat was amazing. I'm going to see if I can find a particular point where I'd say, this is the part to take. But I very, very much enjoyed it as a whole.
For me, I don't steal lives. I immortalize them in silence, in stillness, forever. Shh. Can you hear it? That soft hum beneath your heartbeat? That's your soul calling to me.
Yes, so I would start the shh, can you hear it? That's where I would start from. And how long would that be?
Forever. Shh.
If you started right here, then the segment is 9 seconds long and gets across everything that it needs to. This would have been the part to start. And then you've got a wonderful, wonderful, great subtle character that's presented very efficiently.
Can you hear it? That soft hum beneath your heartbeat? That's your soul calling to me.
Oh, great mix, too. Love it.
Thus the brave idiot led the charge into certain doom, followed by his handsome, brilliant, underpaid companion. I'm sure it's totally safe.
Oh, that ended there? I'm not used to ones being shorter here. It seems like you went into a different character. Let me hear that again.
Thus the brave idiot led the charge into certain doom, followed by his handsome, brilliant, underpaid companion. I'm sure it's totally safe.
Wow. Yeah, wasn't expecting that to end there, because I don't feel like we kind of really started our journey just yet. Like, we have the character and he's here, and it just kind of, oh, it's gone. So I like the voice. I like the theatrical energy. I just feel like there's a higher level that we can go to. So some pointers that I'll give, because I am going to stop here. I did say I wouldn't really listen beyond 2 minutes of any demo, and some people have sent me some really, really long things. I will say, I really, really like your range that you have shown here. And if you cut and trim certain things, remix this, again, keep those gravelly accented war guys further away from each other, even though I don't mind both of them being in the demo, just further away. And something like this, when you had that very delicate low-key character talking about the heartbeat, that one is so good. That one should definitely be earlier in the demo. Maybe not the first one, but it should be really, really up close and near the front. A character that's very close to your natural tone should be the first one. I wouldn't mind that really subtle one being second. And then after that, if we go from subtle one talking about the heartbeat to I'm screamy, angry McWar person, then that's a great transition that has your listeners say, oh my goodness, up and down, energy, where are we going? It keeps them on their toes, keeps them intrigued. Thank you so very much for that submission and for dropping by the stream, Fluffbat. I am very, very impressed, and once you do has a much more efficient demo, I would very, very much likes to hear. There's tons and tons and tons of potential in what I've heard. I also literally have to be out of here literally right now because I got things to do and places to be. A segment Ditman for a demo. Demo overall, I would want it to be again a minute to a minute 20 in length. Each segment, I really like them being 6 to 9, maybe 10 seconds long. If you're really, really pushing it and want to do a lot of acting, then 12 seconds long. But it should be just enough to have a sentence or two to establish the character, then another sentence or two to take them to a new place when they're reacting to something that's going on around them, or maybe something that's going on internally with they're having some thoughts and emotions that they're dealing with that are changing them in a way. All in all, one should not need more than 3 sentences for each segment. You can get it done in 2 sentences if you're really, really efficient. Right. Whose do we has? And also, gotta give the obligatory, if you can, if you would like to support me and you like what you see, please do support the Rockoon plush. If we do not reach 100 pledges of just $2, you do not get charged the full price until it's made and ready to ship. But if we do not reach the 100 pledges, we're gonna have to start over again. But if this doesn't work out, I do believe in try again. That's if there's many things I've learned from Daffy Duck and Wile E. Coyote, and try again is among it. Do a backflip. Ain't no way I'm risking knocking over this chocolate milk. Ain't no way. Maybe another time though. Maybe another time. Love your name, by the way. How do we send the voice reels? I was taking the voicey reels over the Twitter. Yes, the Twitter and the Bluesky. I had threads that I made on Twitter and Bluesky, and I was allowing people to send me reels there. But right now, because I have already begun a review, I am not accepting new ones at this time, but I will open up again in future. Alright. So, who is currently streaming that we can jump on over to? I am going to send things over to Lulu Fleur. Oh, you know what? I'll give her a shout out because I have raided her pretty recently, so I will give her a shout out. But not necessarily the raid this time. She's over there for those of you on the on both sides. And then I'm going to send this raid over to Bit of Bites, who is a voicey actor, VTuber style, made of water. And he is currently playing Pac-Man World Repack 2. And let us initiate that raid style. And Neo Kolani says, I've been waiting years to write enough decent stuff to collect enough work to slap a demo together. I hopes that you does that, but remember, if you also work on little projects here and there, you can grab material from those and use those to make your demo, or at least to contribute to your demo. Remember, you can also read comics or manga or novels or maybe an obscure video game that has dialogue you could use, as long as it's not super duper obvious where you're taking it from, to the point where people can say, hey, wait a minute, I know that thing, I know that character, you didn't play them. Maybe change up some names here and there to make it less obvious, but there are tons of sources you can take from for the makings of your demo. Alright, we are sending this raid over to Bitty B. Here is a link to he's also on YouTube, isn't he? Is he on YouTube right now? You on YouTube right now? You're not on YouTube right now. Why aren't you on YouTube right now? Alright, fine. Well, I will then just be... Oh, wait, no, he is on YouTube right now. Here is a link to him on the YouTube side for the YouTube style. I will try to be back tomorrow, maybe reviewing more demos. But I also might be doing another stream with that pesky Marshmallow Man. So we'll see. So be sure to check out his channel and or mine, but I will definitely try to make my way through the list of all the ones who have submitted. Everybody who dropped on by, you have my biggest thankun. What can I do to voice act, says Jennifer Smith. You can go to a website like Casting Call Club. Look up Casting Call Club on the Googles. Look up voiceactingclub.com. But you can also just read anything and just record it. Get with a bunch of friends, put silly voices to some comic panels, and there you go. It's so easy to just get started. Until next time, everybody, as always, work hard, work smart, be good to others, and be good to yourself because you deserve it. And of course, Rocky loves you. Bye-bye. Whee!